The 2026 World Cup is here, people, and I'm excited for this. I am excited because this is the competition that every single player has coveted since the inception of them in this world of football. Since the inception of them putting cleats to play football. Whether you're a pro player or not, you dreamed about raising the trophy. It's like every single basketball fan that always, when they were trying to throw the ball into the dustbin, they shouted, Kobe, because of that last second shot. This is it for football. This is it for soccer. And in this situation, because it's so coveted, because it comes every 4 years, it is a make or break situation for a lot of players. It is the situation where you become superstars, you become household names that people will speak about you for generations to come. It also can be a game, a stage where people literally cower to the big lights that we see. And so we are going to be speaking about 10 players that absolutely have the most pressure on them going into this World Cup 2026. And we are going to be starting with number 10, and that right there is Jude flipping Bellingham. And it's simple for the English fans. They know that everything rides and ends with two players, Jude Bellingham and the other player that we are going to be talking about on this list a little bit later. It is quite simple. In the past, we spoke about Jude Bellingham as being the future. It is now. The future has become the present. It is an opportunity for you to show up and give the English fans what they have been craving for what feels like years upon years, what feels like decades. They want football back home. And the only way they are going to get football back home is if this person in Jude Bellingham gives them the performance of their flipping lives. He is no longer the future. He is now. We've spoken about the generation of old, the Rio Ferdinands, the Gary Nevilles, the David Beckhams, the Wayne Rooneys. And we realized that, look, you couldn't do it in that situation. However, they have gotten a second roll of the dice. This is arguably a better generation than that past generation because of the type of talents that we see. The types of talent in every single position. England have almost a world-class player. And that is rare to say for any country in this World Cup. And so Jude Bellingham has to be counted. He has to stand up and be counted in this World Cup. If not, it will be a devastating one for English fans. And the funny thing about it is that he is still at the early stages of his flipping career. He is expected to lead. He's expected to perform. And he's, of course, expected to bring it back home. Number 9 is Captain America himself, Christian Pulisic. And this is a situation where nobody can ever say they are carrying the weight and the expectations of a host nation more or quite like Christian Pulisic. And I'm saying this because the AC Milan player is coming into this World Cup with the entire United States on his shoulders. Millions of Americans usually do not watch soccer. They will be tuning in for this particular one because they are hosting it, because it's in their faces, because it's in and is going to be on television. And when they look at Team USA, they are looking at one man, Christian flipping Pulisic. And for years, this man has been the face of American soccer. He has been the face for American soccer. And so the moment has arrived. It is in your home. The USA are hosting the World Cup. It is this moment that you become sporting icon. It is this moment that you take your name and put it in the echelons of the likes of LeBron James, of the likes of Woods, of the likes of Tom Brady. This is the moment. If USA gets a deep historic run in the World Cup, he becomes a sporting icon. They don't even need to win it. They just need to be able to play and give us a deep run for us to say that this is a successful season, a successful World Cup. But if he doesn't, every single eyes every single person will be turning to Christian Pulisic and saying, my goodness, I think it's time you drop the shield. Because Captain, oh my goodness, it will be devastating for Captain Fantastic, for Captain America, if he doesn't show up this year. Number 8 is Unai Simon of Spain. Now, this is a very peculiar situation because when you're talking about players under pressure, you usually do not talk about the goalkeeper. But this case just got a little bit tweaky. It just got a little different because Spain are coming off a 2024 Euros win with Unai Simon being between the sticks. However, Arsenal goalkeeper David Raya is currently the best goalkeeper in the world, taking Arsenal to the Premier League champions and also to the Champions League finals. Of course, losing it in the Champions League finals, thank goodness. But he is arguably, it's not even an arguable situation, unanimously the best goalkeeper in the world. And if it has already been decided by De La Fuente, I think that's his name, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me in the chat. If I'm mistaken, please correct me in the chat. But he had already decided, and I'm talking about the Spain manager, that Unai Simon is his starting number 1. That right there puts pressure on Simon. It puts pressure because you dropped the number 1 goalkeeper in the world. For him, he has to perform. He has to be clean sheet. He has to not make any mistake leading to goal, because if he makes the mistake leading to goal, especially because Spain has such a talented side and couldn't win it all, it will be a devastating thing that I'm not sure he'll be able to come back from. But let me know what you guys think about this in the chat. Before we get to the number 7 all the way to the number 1 person that we think has absolute pressure, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, so we can absolutely tell YouTube that we are growing, we are vibrant, and it does help us absolutely understand what you guys want to see from us, because we know that the World Cup fever is definitely in us. And so you guys lock in with us as we give you the best football content here on YouTube. Now let's get to number 7, and he is no other than the special one, the one that was carrying a nation for his back for over 24 years, the one person that has had a torrid time with injuries this past few seasons, the one person that absolutely comes from the Samba Boys, the one person that reminds a whole country about the beautiful days of Ronaldo, the beautiful days of Ronaldinho, the beautiful days of Cafu, the beautiful days of Robinho, the beautiful days of Adriano. The name is Neymar Flippin Jr. With this particular person, over a decade, Neymar has carried Brazil's hopes on his shoulder. Every tournament, every Copa America, every flipping World Cup, the expectation has always been the same. Bring the trophy home. Give us our 6th star on our flipping shoulder. And now time is running out for him, and this could be his final World Cup, and the pressure is just there. And we understand, because he is not having the best time when it comes to his body, because his body is breaking down more often than not. So Neymar is in super high pressure for doing it finally for Brazil. Because yes, he's already an icon. Yes, he's already someone that has been put on the flipping mountains of superstars that they have in Brazil. But this trophy here gives him the vigor. It gives him the argument that, look, I'm one of the best to do it. Look, I am one of the best players to ever come from Brazil. Because think about Ronaldinho. He has one. Think about Ronaldo. He has one. Think about Rivaldo. He has one. Think about Cafu. He has one. Roberto Carlos. He has one. Dida. He has one. All these superstars that we are calling, they all have one. However, Neymar has not gotten one yet. And this might be his last chance to do it. It's the reason why Carlo Ancelotti brought him over. Because we understand his special connection to the fans of Brazil. But if he goes on again to not take them to a trophy, It will be a devastating loss. It will be a devastating situation. And one thing is for sure, I believe we will be seeing him wave goodbye to international football. And it would be a sad day, because one thing is for sure, he deserves it for what he has been able to do for Brazil. This takes us now to number 8. And in number 8, it's a very peculiar person. It's someone that has absolutely lived up to the hype, but had a very torrid time when it comes to stepping up to penalties in the big moment. It's someone that went on this season to score 61 goals for his side, Bayern Munich. And in this game, in this time, he puts his stamp. He's currently, if I'm not mistaken, the leading goal scorer of his country. Number 1 goal scorer of his country. He's very close to beating Alan Shearer's goal tally in the Premier League. And if he comes back to the Premier League, that he will definitely do it. But the name of the number 6 person that has the most pressure has to go to Harry Classe Kane, like I will say it. Harry Kane has scored goals from everywhere on the pitch. He has broken records, we know that. He has wowed us individual situations. He has gone to Bayern and has absolutely won situations in there, getting back-to-back Bundesliga titles. He has taken Bayern to a very close quarter-final race, semi-final, I think, in the Champions League last season. He has established himself as one of the greatest strikers in this generation. However, there's still one thing missing, and that is a major international trophy. England's fans believe that this team can win the World Cup. And this also goes well with the likes of Jude Bellingham. Those two are absolutely key to if England are going to win this year. But if they do, Harry Kane will be expected to lead the charge with multiple goals this season. He's expected to have the best goal tally. He did it last year or last summer. Did he? I believe so. I think in Euros, okay, it was the Euros. He got the golden boot in the Euros. And in this World Cup, if he gets the golden boot in this World Cup, England would have the opportunity to say they are close to winning it. Plus, they have gotten a manager that can actually give you the small margins, the marginal gains to actually go over the line. They have gotten to the World Cup semi-finals. They have gotten to the Euros finals. And all lost in that situation. It is high time that the English players, the England fans, absolutely celebrate its coming home, because that is where it originated. Football found its life, found the genesis of its happenings in England. And so it would be perfect. He would get that SAR title. His MBE will be there. He would be one of the greatest players to ever do it for the English side. And guess what? He also will be winning the Ballon d'Or if he wins this World Cup. Mark my words. Because trust me when I say the English fans and the English media will not let it go to anyone else if Harry Kane leads them to a flipping World Cup trophy. So that is definitely the pressure that this man carries. Because if he doesn't, then we would see at the biggest stages, he chokes. Because we saw last World Cup against France, he had a penalty. Puts that penalty away and guarantee it. Well, let me not say guarantee, because guarantee is a big word. But England would have had the opportunity to go on to beat France. And who knows from there? They might win it all. But he absolutely skied it. He skied it like as if he was trying to communicate with somebody in NASA. That is what he did. So the big moment has absolutely been coming begging for Harry Kane. And that right there is the problem. And that is why he's in my number 6 list for this particular one. Number 5 is the man, the myth, the young man, the legend, of course. And that is Kylian Mbappé. And I know Kylian Mbappé has already won one of this. And he won it when he was 18. And that is remarkable. However, Kylian Mbappé has a lot to answer for. There's a lot of situations going around that Dembele decided that he was going to take the mantle from Kylian and absolutely ran with it with PSG. He ran with it. Back to finals, back-to-back champions. While Kylian Mbappé could not do it for PSG. He left to Real Madrid, and Real Madrid absolutely are looking like the worst thing since his joining. So Kylian Mbappé is coming into this World Cup with his reputation the lowest it has ever been. He's getting attacked from left, from right, from center. Every single where he is getting attacked. But one thing is for sure, Kylian is a superstar. Kylian has the number when it comes to the World Cup. He is the first player to ever score a hat-trick in a World Cup final. And so he can do it again. And so if he's going to be leading the line for France, it has to be really clear. Because if Dembele and Kylian Mbappé are struggling on who is the number one person, it is going to go to Dembele. You have to make it crystal clear that this is my team and not Dembele's team. And if you don't, what we will be discussing after the World Cup is that Dembele has come to France and taken over the team yet again. So he's not a young wonder kid anymore. He's now the present. Those days, the future days are over. It's now. You have the responsibility. Everybody knows that you're a superstar. Everyone knows that you're legendary. Your pace is absolutely devastating. Your eye for goal is top notch. But now it's time for you to lead this France team to another trophy. Let me know what you guys think in this situation. Do not forget to absolutely hit the subscribe button as we go on. We are now in the top 4, and this is where things are absolutely going to get really testy because my number 4 is special. My number 4 is the greatest of all time, or arguably, because a lot of people would absolutely say no. He is the greatest of all time. My number 4 is the person that has led the footballing world in goals scored. And he's on his way to getting 1,000 goals in a professional game that has been recorded. That's the caveat. This person is the one person that has led Portugal in back-to-back World Cups, never getting it, especially when it comes to knockout stages. He is the one person that hasn't scored in a knockout stage in a long time for a superstar. And his name is, of course, Cristiano, the GOAT, Ronaldo. What more can be said about this guy? 5 Ballon d'Ors, European champions, countless records, Champions League winner, one of the greatest careers football has ever seen. Yet there is still one trophy that is missing from his cabinet, and that's the World Cup trophy. Ronaldo is still bagging in goals in the Saudi Pro League. And so one thing is for dang sure, this might be the final chapter. This might be the chapter where he hangs his boots when it comes to Portuguese football. This might be his last World Cup to ever do it. And one thing that puts more pressure on him is that his arch rival, his nemesis in Lionel Messi, won it in the 2022 World Cup. So he has to do it this year. Nobody has more, maybe the remaining 3 that I'm about to talk about, but his pressure is absolutely immense. It has to be this year that Portugal lifts the trophy. And of course, his running mate in this list also has to step up to help him in winning that trophy. But it has to be this year. He has no other chance. The World Cup, this is his final dance. Whether he agrees it or not, I don't think Portugal invite him in the next 4 years. He would be 44, if not 45 at that time. I don't know what 45-year-old is playing in the World Cup at a meaningful stage. So this is the last opportunity, his final dance, and he needs to win the World Cup. The final opportunity for Cristiano to complete football. And he has to do it. Let me know whether you think he's going to do it in the comments. Now we move to number 3. His compatriot. The one person that has broken the assist record. The one person that has tied the assist record in European football. The one person that is leading Manchester United back into the glory days. The one person that we all call El Capitano. The Portuguese Magnifico. His name is flipping Bruno Fernandes. Like everyone will call him. Portugal might have the most complete squad that we have ever seen from the Portuguese side. They have elite defenders, they have elite midfielders, and of course, quasi with elite attackers. But one thing is for dang sure. Bruno Fernandes is on the top of the world when it comes to form players. He is doing it in the apex of his powers right now. They are 21 assists in the Premier League last season. He needs to bring that into the World Cup. He needs to be the one to step up to help Cristiano Ronaldo lift this trophy. He is the heartbeat of this team. He is the creator. He is the leader. And he needs to get it done. He truly does. It's no excuses. Because you have every single thing in this particular team. The only person that I think is a little bit of a weak link is your coach, Martinez. I still don't understand it. You had Jose Mourinho and you did not choose Jose. However, questions will be asked about this generation for this wasted opportunity. If they fall short, because Bernardo Silva is getting older. You get me? Ruben Diaz is getting older. Menj is a young player. He's in his prime right now. Rafael Leao is getting older. Goncalo Ramos getting older. Cristiano Ronaldo, 41 years of age. Vitinha in his prime. João Neves in his prime. So you need to get it done this year. There is no excuses. Get it done and lift that trophy. If not for you, but for Cristiano Ronaldo. It has to be this year. The swan song, you need to send him off in the perfect way possible. Number 2 is Vinícius Jr. Now, this situation is getting really ringsty for him, particularly. Because at club level, Vinícius Jr. has already completed Europe. He has won the Champions League. He has won the league. He has won every domestic trophy that you can think of in Spain. But there's, of course, one thing that he hasn't won. In fact, he hasn't even played well for the Brazilian side. And that is where the difficulty comes into situations. It comes into here. Because when it comes to international football, when it comes to wearing that golden shirt, it feels like it gets so heavy for Vinícius Jr. Now, Neymar is in this World Cup. He is going to be the one leading this Brazilian squad. But Vinícius Jr. has to be the one to punch them in. He has to be the one to absolutely say, it is my time to take the baton. He has to be the one to say, I am going to take the next generation of Brazilian samba football into the next phase of it. He needs to be the one that goes on with Neymar. Do you understand? And right now, what we are seeing in Vinícius Jr. is that the superstar has to finally lead them to World Cup glory. The expectations are enormous for them. The spotlight is going to be relentless, especially going into a season where you guys came trophyless in back-to-back season at Real Madrid. He needs to remind the world of who and how much of a talent that he has. And so it is definitely going to be disastrous if he comes up short, if he doesn't give us 5 goals, if he doesn't come up in competing with the Ballon d'Or situations, competing with the Golden Ball situations, competing with the best player in the tournament. It will be disastrous and arguably very disappointing in my mind. And then this leads us to number 1. Number 1 is not a player. Yeah, I know I said 10 players, but I just have to mention him. Number 1 is Thomas flipping Tuchel. This guy was brought in to the English side with one decision, with one thing in mind, with the idea of a one and done, with the situation of you have the nation all behind you, even if you're German. And I know that situation doesn't really matter, but one thing is for sure. They let Southgate go. Southgate has taken them to a semi-finals in the last World Cup. And they brought in Thomas Tuchel for one thing and one thing only. Get them over the line. And that is why Thomas Tuchel is my number 1 most pressured person in this goddamn World Cup. Because one thing is for sure. One thing is definitely for sure. They need to get it done. It has been so long. And we are, of course, going to hear this chant. It's coming home. Football is coming home. We are going to hear the chant this year again. And Thomas Tuchel has to be the one to get it done. He has to be the one, because if he does, then the floodgates open. He would demand whatever he wants because he has done it. He has finally brought in football home. But it has to be done. They brought him in. The choices of him leaving the likes of Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, so many players, Lewis Hall, Harry Maguire at home, and bringing the likes of injured Bukayo Saka, bringing the likes of 4 games a year. This year, John Stones will all come to roost if he does not get England off the lot with that trophy. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. Let me know if I'm lying. Let me know if this list is absolutely spot on. Rate the list in the comments. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that follow button, and do not forget that Pillar Sport is going to be with you throughout the World Cup. I'll see you guys in the next one.